Hello, Aquarius. Thank you for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using Tarot Illuminati by Eric C. Dunn. Supportive Oracle cards. Chakra Wisdom Oracle cards by Tori Hartman, illustrated by Gretchen. There's Gretchen's last name if you would like to find anything by those people. Okay, what do we have for Aquarius? That was weird, but here we go. Oh. Are we pulling them from the bottom again? I don't know what that's about. A lot coming in here. That's it? That's it. All right. That's a curious ending. We'll see where that goes. Coming into the situation, you have discovery with wisdom, which makes me feel like it's very knowledge-based, obviously. Wisdom with discovery makes me feel like you're finding out new information, but it's applicable. It's stuff you can use. It's not just stuff you know and like that's good to know. Discovery with the wisdom is saying this is stuff that's going to be applied. This is stuff that is valid now, needs to be used now, and is changing your current situation. This new information coming forward to you. The thing is, when this new information comes forward to you, it's one of those things where it needs to be applied now, but people aren't receptive to it, and they should be, or they need to be. It'd be better if they were. How else do I put this? It needs to be applied now is what I'm getting. But you're having difficulty. Like, you get this information, you absorb it, and you're like, we need to implement this now. But you're getting some type of rebuttal from it, and you're having a hard time kind of melding it into the situation. So you're getting some pushback is what I'm getting. What's going on in the environment at this time is kind of like, you got insecurity, faith, enlightenment, and balance, all coming in at once. This is like the layers of this situation. On the outside, they don't want to do it your way. They don't want to do it. They don't want to give you the control. The next behind that one, is that faith? Yep, faith. They feel like it'll work out better without you. Somebody seems to be standing in your way. When I feel faith, I feel somebody standing in your way. Now, the next two cards actually, these both go to your benefit. There is some support with it. There's somebody who's like listening to you and realizing that you found new information and it's very important and it's very helpful. And they're feeling this can actually correct things and make things go a lot better. And they agree with you that this needs to be put into action the sooner the better, but it's dealing with this adversity energy that they don't want to work with you. That's where this Four of Cups seems to come really into play, is what I'm feeling. Because that's how that kind of feels for me. Like this isn't like the easy slam dunk, but you do have enough support to where this could start turning around. Now, even though you really are correct, thinking the sooner we get this going, the better things will be, you got to kind of play nice with whatever you're dealing with. So you got to act like, well, we can do slow and steady. We can take our time with it. Let's just do a couple little changes to start. You don't really believe that's for the best. You don't really like it either, but you're kind of like, for now, at least it starts us going in the right direction. You're really not happy with it because you're like, this isn't really good. We really should be moving more in this direction. The sooner the better. But you're doing what you have to here with the facade. One of the reasons you're handling it that way is because there's history with the situation. You know this doesn't go easy. If you push and you try to force it, if you try to force the issue, I feel like there's history. There's history with the situation where you might have done that before and it's blown up in your face. So you're kind of like, nope, gotta play nice, gotta do this the right way, or else it's gonna be an issue. And if we make it an issue, we end up taking 3 steps back instead of 1 step forward, and I don't need that. So you're doing what you have to do. You got to be a little bit political. You got to play the diplomat a little bit. It's what's best for right now. Now, you're melding to the situation. Whoever's standing against you was not expecting that, and they're very annoyed with it. They're trying to bait you is what I'm getting. They're going to get really annoyed and they're going to try to bait you. They got the vanity with the complacency. They don't want to work with you. If you say, excuse me, if you say go left, they're automatically be like, well, we can go any direction but left. That's kind of their attitude. Like, whatever you want to do, we can do anything but what the Aquarius wants to do. That's their attitude. They seem to have some problem. It could be a history connection here. This could be residual from a past indiscretion or argument or whatever. Somebody just does not want to work with you. So whatever you want to do, they're like, we can do anything but that. Anything but what the Aquarius wants. That's what I'm feeling for that. And I feel like they're trying to bait you too. They're trying to like kind of goad you into some type of argument or something like that. And quite frankly, if you want to argue, you can hold your own in an argument. That's not a problem. But you're also kind of like, nope. Aquarius can argue very easily if they want to, but Aquarius is also the one that kind of like, I argue on my terms. You don't get to call the shots on when I will argue with something and when I won't. That's the Aquarius energy I'm familiar with. Just because you can do it doesn't mean you will do it. You have to feel like it's the right time to do it or it's something you want to do. If somebody tries to goad you into it, you usually figure it out pretty quickly and you're like, not playing by your rules, playing by my rules, but thanks. The perfection here is kind of like you're holding back. You are talking to the situation, but you're holding back because you're trying to make this work out. You still got that facade going on, so you're trying to make it look a lot nicer than it is. You are communicating, but I feel like it's kind of like that perfection feel, like this goes a lot better if I hold more back. And I'm noticing on that card, I'm really reading the card with that. This person has two things in their hand, and I feel like in their hands, and I feel like they're kind of holding this stuff back. I feel like it's all concentrating on what they're saying and less about what they have actually in front of them. And they have some other stuff here off to the side, like there's more things off to the side to be done. So you're trying to play it to the best of your ability. Now, as it keeps going forward, whoever this person is trying to bait you, it becomes very boring. Other people around that person seem to be kind of like, all right, pull it back. The Aquarius didn't do anything to you. The Aquarius is just trying to get things done. The Aquarius is even trying to work with your mode of doing things. They're trying to do it slow. They're just implementing changes as necessary. They're doing it in a way that's a lot easier for you, so let's back off from the Aquarius. Other people do seem to be kind of talking to your benefit. Because of that, acceptance seems to be coming in. The situation seems to be slowly but surely going the way you want it to. And I feel like there's a little bit of stress on your side, kind of like, we really need to change how this is going. We really need to change the direction of this. We are doing changes slowly but surely, but you're like, the longer we take to do this, the more that goes wrong, that doesn't need to go wrong. So there is some stress with it, but you're doing what you can. The situation does seem to be going more to your liking, more and more over time, but you're still like, for the longer we take to make this full change, it's just all that much more wasted time. It's a little aggravating. So at some point, it's like you're going to have to try to make it go a little faster because I feel like it gets very aggravating. I feel the prayer on your side kind of like it's kind of almost like a wild card. Kind of like there's a possibility to kind of shift this into the new gear and just keep going. But it's kind of like you're going to have to find your in to make it happen. Kind of trying to bring it up again. Talking with the people who agree with you that this really, the sooner it gets done, the better. This slow implementing changes is not the best thing for the situation. So this is kind of like a wild card. Like you do have the ability to possibly move it forward faster, but it depends on your situation. Remember, this is a general read. Depends on your situation if that can actually happen or not. It's going to take a lot of work and working with others, working with those people who are sympathetic to your view and agree with you to see if they can get this to move forward faster. Sooner or later, it will go forward correctly. I do get that. This new change will come forward. It will be completely implemented. Destiny is telling me you are on the right track. It will go that way sooner or later. Sooner better than later is also correct, but it will happen at some point. At the end here, whatever this new change is that you're pulling in, I do feel like it's the right thing to do. You got Miracle here with the Hanged Man. Once it's fully implemented, you're going to have a hard time changing it, but I don't feel like that's a bad thing. It's one of those things with kind of like, when it finally gets implemented, it goes really well, but it also, like, people are trying to lock it in and making it really difficult for anybody to change it. But on the other hand, you're like, yeah, but it's going really well. So there's nothing to bark at here. There's nothing to worry about here at this point, because it is for the best for the situation. But you are noticing, like, nobody wants to change once it gets in full swing. It's not bad, but the Hanged Man is also a warning that you can't live like this. You can't live upside down like that for your whole life. So the situation is going to hold on for as long as it can, but I feel like whatever the situation is going this new direction, it's not meant to be permanent. In most cases, I feel like it's not meant to be permanent. I know it's a general read, but they're saying, it might be better for you to realize sooner rather than later how hard people are going to hold on to this. Because it is going perfectly well the way it should be. The miracle is that they're finally on board, and I get that. But I'm also getting, like, keep an eye out for who's giving you a hard time about this already. Because there will be another change that has to happen down the line. So I feel like talking to the right people and keeping their minds open, kind of like, we need to stay with this plan as long as it serves us. Yes, then keep it. But we need to keep our eyes open, we need to keep our ears to the ground, and we need to pay attention when the current changes. We need to be aware of it so we know when we have to start moving in a different direction. That way when the things change again, we can slowly implement changes and it's more conducive to the environment rather than waiting for things to become outdated and, like, after 5 years going, hey, we're way out of sorts. We're way out of fashion with this situation. We need to change. If we keep our eyes open, our ears to the ground, we won't get stuck in a situation like this again. So it might be keeping people awake to that, kind of like, listen, for now, it's perfect, but we need to keep in mind, we need to mold with the situation. We got to keep fluid with it. Stay with it as long as it serves us. I think this is good. It turns out really good in the end, but I feel like that's the warning of this whole reading. When you see people, like, holding in and grabbing in and, like, oh, all right, we got this, we're staying here, we're not going anywhere. Do your best to talk to the people who work with you or who want to work with you, to keep their minds open and their ears open to, like, all right, yes, this is good now, but stay fluid, because we don't want to stay to this so hard that when it starts changing, we don't change with it and we end up behind again. I feel like that'll work to your benefit. I don't know. I could say it for the fourth or fifth time, I suppose, but I don't see the point in it. So I guess I'm going to leave it there. Okay. So I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, give me an email. Shoot me an email. James4astral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.